Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Some of you will know that at Popham, which I've just come back from, I made a couple of purchases, well 3 actually. One I'm going to show you right now, and that is my Flair Puppeteer pup. And as you can see, it's minus its engine, which is good because I'm not going to put a engine back in it. I should be fitting a motor. Now, it's got a fantastic pattern on it. I really haven't looked at it at all since I bought it. I would say looking at it, this looks, covering up the front looks like it's been changed. It's a slightly different brown. But to me, this just adds more realism to the aeroplane, because if it was on the front line, it would be patched up and repaired just the same way. A little bit rough in places, but I just love it. So it's got no servos fitted, and if it did have, they probably weren't very good ones, probably old. Elevator push rod works really nicely. Rudder hinges are, well, I've got to make a longer slot at the back. You can't see that, but I've got to make a longer slot at the back. It's not giving me very much. What's that? Left rudder. The covering, let's bend you up a little bit. The covering up here, though, on the tailplane, on this side's really rough. I would say this was original. This side's been replaced, and it's not quite as rough. The tailplane's been broken off at some time. It's been epoxied back on. It's nice and solid now. So the back end's okay, but going back to the front, I've got to pick up some more servos, but let's just take these hatches off, see what we've got. There will be a fuel tank in here to remove. Just put a bit more light on the front there. There'll be a fuel tank, and I need to create a battery hatch. Put that there. There we go. I wish somebody had written their name on the inside, you know, and the date. That would have been really good. In there we've got a fuel tank, which can come out. I've also got a push rod for the throttle, which we no longer need. So that can come out. I think it might be an idea just to remove the undercarriage a minute. I'm really keen to get this aeroplane into the air. It's got lots of things that could be improved upon, but I want to get it flying. Might be able to make them better. Fit cones on. There's lots I could do to this. There really is, but I don't want to do it. I want to fly it. I'll turn it over because the push rods. I want to take off the top hatch. I'm hoping this can become the battery hatch to save going in from underneath. That is just the fuel tank floor. It's an interesting area, isn't it? I don't know, but I'm thinking that I'm going to need lots of nose weight, and I'm initially thinking maybe a battery could just go in vertically in there, which would be really useful. I think I'm going to have to remove the cowling. Well, I will have to, yeah. Let's just take that one off. I have got a video on my channel of the Hangar 9 Sopwith Camel, which I did a conversion on. Let me show you it. Up there, and the battery goes up from underneath into a compartment right up in the cowl. So I don't know as if I can do something similar here or not. It all depends on the centre of gravity. I'll give this cowl a bit of a shine up. It might even have been, I don't know, let's just give it a Now it'll polish up, I'm sure. Isn't it? Okay, let's see if this will come off. Okay, don't require the fuel lines. I'm going to just cut through those. There's the cowling. Nice. I've got to remove the engine mount to get the fuel tank out, so let me just undo those screws. I've got a small amount of small wedges in here, giving me a little bit of downfuss, which if the model needs it, I might replicate that on the electric motor. And I would think that the motor could screw directly to the firewall, and I've just noticed something else actually. And that is the firewall seems to be screwed to the front of the model. So at least there's screws all the way around it. That might be a useful feature, you never know. Considering the models had an internal combustion engine in it, it seems remarkably free of grime. You'd never guess, actually. It looks almost like it's had an electric motor in it. There we go. I'll probably throw that out because there's a possibility it's been compromised, brittle, something like that. Don't know how old it is, so it's got to go. That's the plastic. I think the fuel tank is only going to come out if I undo this front completely. So there we are, it's got to come out. Right, last one, here it comes. Okay, good. One very, very dry looking fuel tank. Don't think that's had any fuel in it for a long, long time. Which is good, lots of space. So I'm going to remove this floor in here because it really isn't needed. Right, this is going to sound worse than it is. Okay, one half, and then the other bit. Okay, now we're left with a nice clean hole, and I would call that a cavernous battery hatch, and a 4S battery will easily go in there. This screw is coming through, it's a little bit longer than the rest, but what I'll do, I'll make up a battery box for the battery to slide into, because you can't have screws coming through a bulkhead with a battery moving about, because it will, on a slightly heavy landing, puncture the battery and it'll look a very realistic crash, put it that way. Okay, so there we are. Bulkhead's back on. Turn it to face the camera again. Oops. I might leave the fuel filler on for a bit of fun, I'm not sure. Let's see. Anyway, I've got quite a big depth there, so plenty of depth for an electric motor. We probably don't need this hatch to come on off again, but I won't put it on yet because I might need access just to fit that up. So the servo tray is screwed in, which is excellent. So it means I can take it out, but I only have to fit 2 servos here, rudder and elevator. The aileron servo can go in the wing. I'll show you that. So I've got bell cranks in here, and it's fixed up for one central servo. Okay, the central servo sits in the centre, and the push rods go down and work the bell cranks. I'm going to leave the model fully assembled because some of the nuts and bolts on those struts are really fiddly. Yeah, it's just going to take 20 minutes to assemble a model. So I'm going to keep the model fully assembled and put it in the car like I do with my triplane and my Camel, and it'll go in okay. So I'll see you back when I've got the motor and some servos, and we'll carry on. This isn't going to take long at all. Really excited to get it in the air. Really excited. Cheers, guys. Oh, by the way, have a look at channel memberships. If you're not a channel member, it only starts at £1 a month. Yeah, it only starts at £1 a month, and it really does help the channel. It helps me go and, like tomorrow, I can just go and buy some servos and a speed controller and fit it in. Without that, I'd have to say, well, in a few weeks when I've saved up, well, etc. You know, so yeah, if you're not a channel member, take a look at channel memberships. Really appreciate it. It really does help. If you're not interested in channel memberships, then subscribe if you're not. A lot of you guys who watch my videos aren't subscribed. Doesn't cost a penny, but it really boosts the channel. So thanks again. Anyway, I'll be back in a minute tomorrow with some hardware. Cheers, guys. I bought 2 big chunky old servos. They're not metal geared, but they do have a torque of 5.5 kilograms. So that's pretty high torque, isn't it? But I wanted the big servos to just go straight into the servo tray that's already there. Weight's not really an issue, so mounting bits. So I've got 2 of those. Oh, I don't think I showed you, did I? Last night before I went to bed, I found a servo and dug it out to put in for the aileron. Let me tilt you up a little bit. So that sits in there quite nicely. Just got to fix it. But yeah, putting it on the servo tester, ailerons work pretty well, so I'm happy with that. I also bought a motor. Now, Phoenix sell Overlander motors, and I've bought several and they're really good. I've never had any problems, so I'll stick with what I know. This one's 800 kV with a total power of 980 watts. It's designed for 3 to 7 cells. Well, I only be running it on 4 cells, so I won't be developing that sort of power, but it's still a nice heavy motor. So this one's a Tornado Thumper 4250 stroke 06, or stroke 06, I think it's the wind-ins. The 4250 of the dimensions, so it's 42 diameter by 50 deep. So it's a lovely and quite heavy motor, which I'm going to need. All I'm going to do is assemble this, get it nice and central on the firewall and screw it in, making sure that it's deep enough for the prop to come out. I might have to put a piece of wood behind it just to bring it out. Almost certainly, well, I don't know, yeah, almost certainly will actually, because at the moment it's about 1 centimetre, so I might have to cut a plate up. And the other thing I was thinking about doing is I could really do with a dummy motor in there, couldn't I? Dummy engine, sorry, because that's a horrible big opening, so I'll have to look something up and get the old 3D printer working. I'm just mixing up some epoxy to stick on the block. That'll go in the middle, and then I can weigh it down. I've got I've taken it off so as I can line it up accurately on the centre hole, and then I can just weigh it down on the top. That's a nice even coat. It doesn't matter where it goes on here, it's all the same, so let's just get it centered on there. Squeeze it in. Looks pretty centered to me. Just load it up with some blocks. And I'll come back to it in a little while, and I can screw the bulkhead back on. I think it's coming together really quickly, guys. Doing a conversion from IC to electric It's basically removing the engine mount and fuel tank, and hopefully it's not too fuel soaked, and then just bringing a plate up at the back of the motor to bring the prop in the right place. So yeah, it's not much to it at all really. Put the metal grommets in on this one, on both of them actually, to allow me to drill a hole down through, and it centralises it rather nicely. And of course you can tighten the servos right down without crushing the rubber. Note the direction they go in with the flange at the bottom. That's to stop the open metal cutting into the plywood and negating its purpose. Alright, I've got the rudder servo fixed up. Plenty of throat. Now I'll do the elevator. I'll have to reduce the amount of throw I've got electronically because it's way too much. Sit in the stops. So that's good. I've screwed the motor to the bulkhead, literally screwed, self-tapping screws, and passed the wires through a hole I made for the ESC. So now I'm just going to fit this back onto the model. This should be the last time it's going to come off. That's the motor installed. Not difficult at all. It's a pretty easy process. While you're there, let's have a look at the, I think that was the bottom, was it? Possibly. But yeah, there we are. Nicely centered. I've burnt the midnight oil and she's all ready to go. I'm charging the battery, I'm charging the transmitter. Rudder and elevator are working fine. Aileron's all connected up, but I haven't set the throw yet. So I'll do that as soon as the battery is charged. And the prop's on, balanced. Undercarriage is on. She balances pretty much on the CG, which is really pleasing because it saves adding any more nose weight. It won't sit here. There you are, just go in there now. That's nice. As luck would have it, today is quite a nice day. Let me talk to you. So I plan to go up the field this morning and give her a go. It's saying about 8 miles an hour. I think she looks fantastic. The struts went back together beautifully, just straight in, done up all the nuts and bolts. Fiddly old job to do at the field, so you know, I'll just leave it fully assembled. This gaping hole needs to be filled, so I'll have to make up a dummy engine and a magnet on that one now. Battery slides straight into a battery box, which I've made out of heavy card actually, and it seems to be pretty strong. So I'll probably keep that. So reasonable amount of ground clearance, probably 2 or 3 inches, 2 inches probably by the time it's level. I don't know what the weight is at the moment about the battery. Battery I'm using is 4S 5000 milliamp hour. It should give me a few minutes of flying. Yeah, I can't wait. So it's actually been see, it's Wednesday today. I bought the model Saturday and didn't touch it till yesterday when we got home. So I'm quite pleased with that. That's, you know, but I spent most of yesterday on it, probably 10 hours. But that did include popping down to the model shop to pick up a motor and a prop. and a couple of servos. So wish me luck. I'll see you up at the flying field, and we'll see how this beauty flies, see how she looks in the air. I've read quite a few forum posts on how they fly, and they just fly very sedately, very beautifully. So yeah, really looking forward to getting it up there. So yeah, come on, battery charge. See you up there. Cheers. Do you know the new SE5 model that came out? I nearly bought one, but for the fact they weren't available in our country here in the UK for probably 3 weeks. So by the time they came available, I'd gone off the boil. Had I bought that, I wouldn't have bought this because I'd simply have nowhere to put it. So I'm glad now every cloud has a silver lining. I'm glad that, yeah, I didn't get one. This is much more, well, you know, my sort of bag. Okay guys, cheers.